What's up everyone, this is Ryan here and you are watching a channel update which is going to be fairly loose and unscripted. I just kind of wanted to talk about why I haven't been posting many videos lately, where I'm going with the channel moving forward, and all the lovely stuff like that. So first and foremost, as you may have noticed over the summertime, I built a couple of sort of really large-scale tutorials, and while I'm quite happy with the way they turned out, those projects take an incredibly long amount of time to make. Like the Recycler View tutorial took about 3 weeks from sort of start to finish between planning, writing the code, shooting, editing, and uploading. And it was about 4 weeks at least for the room tutorial. So what I wanted to do is in September I kind of wanted to take a break from doing those videos and basically focus on something else, which was writing an ebook. So I have written, and there will be a link down in the description box below, an introductory ebook for Android developers. So the purpose of the ebook is basically to just introduce a whole bunch of topics which I felt I really would have liked to see them in introductory material that I read. So basically what I'll be covering is I do introduce like a brief overview of the Java language and sort of glossary style, explain a couple of those things, but the main focus of the book is sort of like, it's a book where if you're a beginner or intermediate, somewhere in between, you can kind of use it as a roadmap to guide your sort of design, building, and understanding of software architecture and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of touches on a whole bunch of different subjects that are super important. So for example, let's say you're building like a 3-layer application. It doesn't really matter what it is. Model view presenter, model view controller, model view model, view model, view model, presenter, controller, whichever one you like. Basically the idea is like, regardless of which one you pick, how should you talk to the model layer, which should basically be through asynchronous communication. Anyways, I'm rambling. So yeah, all that good stuff in the ebook, and if you would like to support me, please do me a favor. If you're interested, please pick up a copy, or if you know someone who might be interested in picking up Android development and learning the basics of software architecture, please do consider picking it up. Anyways, that's my commercial for today. But yeah, that project took a lot more than 4 months. It took 8 weeks total from writing the book to editing. Editing took a very long time. It's actually the first time I've ever written. I've written close to a full book when I was a kid. When I say full book, I mean like 20,000 words, but I've never written like an ebook, and so I didn't actually know how long it would take to do the writing, the editing, and editing took way longer than I thought it would. But anyways, it's done, it's uploaded, and that's all good. So that's basically why I haven't been posting a lot of videos, is I pretty much spent that entire span of September up to October pretty much just proofreading, editing, and writing the book, and researching mostly sort of, I would say, beginner fundamental kind of stuff. So as a result of that, I'm a little bit out of practice with the stuff that I usually sort of get into. So pretty much what I'll get into now is these are the main 3 projects I'll be working on in November. So first and foremost, I've been getting requests since I would say I started making YouTube videos for a tutorial on creating a REST adapter or a REST app. So for example, let's say like a retrofit app that talks to GitHub or something like that. So that's one of my first primary goals, is to build this, basically the app's going to be called GitHub REST Adapter or something like that. I'm going to be making a retrofit tutorial, which will show you how to sort of parse data from retrofit. I'm not sure how much I'll get into it. I might get into like setting up authentication and stuff like that, but we'll see. For now, just know that I am working on a GitHub REST Adapter. The version I'm working on will be Java. I'll probably make a Kotlin version later. So that's the first thing. The second one is that I'm going to be refactoring PostTrainer a little bit again. As some of the people who've been watching the stream have noticed, I'm sort of halfway with my clean architecture in my use cases, to throw some jargon at you, in the sense that I believe there's a lot more sort of logic that I can be offloading to the use cases that currently sits in the presenters. So I would like to fix that, because I keep on the stream answering questions. Oh yeah, clean architecture, it's super cool, and check this thing out. Oh right, I forgot to make this change. Well, this is what would happen in here, and it just makes for a very poor and awkward learning experience. So I will be, that's probably the first thing I'll work on, because I hope that won't take super long. So anyways, how that's relevant to you is once Post Trainer is kind of finalized there, what I will do is create like a, probably a tutorial on clean architecture. Now that's going to be further down, but expect to see some content on clean because I'm getting pretty comfortable with it. I'm not trying to advertise for anyone, I just really, it's the biggest mug I have. Anyways, so the last thing is I'm working on a Kotlin calculator app. Now that might sound kind of lame at first, but the way I'm going to be building this calculator app is that it's going to be basically, it's going to be a multi-module project. So the presentation layer, the domain layer, and the data layer are going to be separate, or whichever jargon terms you want to use. So instead of having like a 3-layer architecture all in one package, each layer of the architecture is going to kind of be in its own package. So I'm super excited for that. It's going to be in Kotlin, so we'll get into learning the basics of Kotlin. And I plan to most likely sort of finalize my approach to RxJava more or less in this application, because RxJava has been something that's been kind of, I would say, very elusive to deal with, because every time I kind of feel like I haven't figured out, I'll hear from one of the, I call them the Android Avengers, but like for example, I was listening to Dan Liu talk about RxJava 2 and how there's this pattern that, to paraphrase him, there's this pattern that comes out of using RxJava, which basically means that you can represent the different events in your application as objects, like event objects, and then you sort of represent the various states that a particular feature of the app can have within that object. So anyways, I'm trying to figure out what the hell that means, and basically if I spend 2 weeks just trying to finalize my approach to RxJava and I still can't figure it out, I'm probably just going to switch to live data. Because like I see how RxJava is super powerful, and it basically makes your application sort of very reactive, and that's super cool. But one of the big issues I was seeing is that it rapidly deteriorates in terms of legibility. So that's fine if you're working on a team of RxJava experts or stuff like that. But for me, as someone who's teaching like a general audience, I'm not sure if that's the route for me to go. But I'm still going to learn it and figure it out, and yeah, we'll see. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing I wanted to talk about is I'm going to be writing a lot more articles on my website and on Medium, because I like writing. It's a lot easier for me to write an article about something than it is to record a video, and so expect lots of stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to say other than thank you so much to all the wonderful people who support me. The support group that I have going on within the WiseAss Slack channel is absolutely amazing. I just really like to thank, and I apologize if I miss anyone here, but I'd like to thank Darrell, Shitij, Chitan, let me try and get this right. We've got a whole bunch of new people in there as well. Thank you all. Yeah, that's pretty much the main ones that I think I have in the moderator channel. So thank you all to you wonderful people for helping me, especially during the period where I was working on the ebook. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and expect lots of good stuff to come in November. Peace out.